Hello guys, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. If you like my videos, please press the like button. Please do subscribe. I'm not going to stop being me, and I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. So here we go again. Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 7:58 p.m.
It's 7:58 p.m. on a Thursday evening. I'm here in my flat by myself with my lovely Chihuahua Max. And I've been trying to find things to do to keep my mind occupied this afternoon and this evening, to stop myself from going round the bend, basically. Going forever round and round in circles. Getting messages from guys off dating sites, the same old continued rubbish. I'm not going to say any more, but I'm tired of it. I just want to meet a person, go on a date, meet for a coffee in a public place, go out and start a relationship. But it's not going to happen. These guys on these dating sites, they ain't real. So they text me, I'm getting fake photographs, I'm getting some obviously nasty person trying to have a go at somebody, and it's not me that but they're having a go at me, and I think they're trying to have a go at somebody, but they've got the wrong person, and I'm taking the flak for somebody else. They're taking the mickey out. I'm not a bloke. I ain't got a dick, I ain't got a cock, whatever you call it. So, you can take the piss out of something I haven't got, because I haven't got one. So it don't bother me. So, around 10 to 7, the same time I usually go out every single day at night, 7 days a week, like I do. In the morning and the afternoon and the evening, me, myself and I and my lovely Chihuahua Max left the building at 10 to 7. I don't drive, I've never learnt to drive a car, so I was on foot, walking my dog around the back of the building. Obviously watching out for parked cars and people ready to drive off as I'm walking around the back of the car. I couldn't see anybody sat in a car, I could hear people talking. And I just was careful, took my dog Max around the back of the flats, onto Common Creek Wharf near the riverside, and I walked round the back. And as I was walking round the back, a young lad, like my son, got into a black car, and as I was walking round the back of the flats, he turned the ignition on and he drove off. And as he was driving off, there was a red car coming down the road. So I didn't want to get mashed in the middle of the two. So I let the black car drive off and I walked across the road. And then there was a couple walking in front of me, obviously together. And I walked onto the field, and the same roller skater that was out there last night was on the field again. Black long hair, really tight black pants and a low cut top, roller skating up and down the road, the same as yesterday evening. I walked around the field and there was a couple of guys on the field, males, and one man bent over in a pair of light blue shorts. He had a pair of glasses on like myself that I wear, and he bent over as I was walking past that way. He bent over. So I then walked around 3 men that were walking by themselves on the field, and I went back home. I was being distracted by someone texting me on my iPhone. So I then continued to walk round the back of the flats, and there was a couple of guys in a car coming round as I was going that way. This car was coming that way, right? They didn't stop the car and and wait for me to walk past. No, they didn't. So that car reversed that way and then it came out again. They didn't stop and they weren't polite and let me walk past. I just sat in the car, drove that way, while I was just stood there. Came out of nowhere. It wasn't very fast though. I might have bruised my toes as the tyre gone over my toes, but it didn't actually. It wasn't fast enough to do much damage. But they were just sat in the car staring at me. And moving the car up and down. Just sat there staring. I walked past it, and then I walked down the bottom, and I walked back the way I came round the flats. All the time I was being distracted by someone pinging my iPhone. And my mum phoned whilst I was on the field, and let's hear what Jennifer had to say to me. I mean, how possibly could you mistake me for a fella? I mean, it's ridiculous. When I get with somebody, I don't know about other women, right, but when you get with someone, the size of their privates is nothing to do with it. It's only bitches that go around making fun of a gentleman's private parts, and it's usually because they've been dumped. So when you're taking the mickey out of private parts to me, I'm a woman. It really doesn't matter. They've got the wrong person.
Voicemail. You have one new message. First new message. Received today at 7:10 p.m.
Good evening, Janessa. It's me, Jennifer, wishing you good night and God bless. Hoping you've had a good day, and I'll phone you again later on tomorrow. Okay, Janessa? Thinking of you, Janessa. Good night. God bless.
Yeah, well, luckily for me, I wasn't run over and I wasn't in hospital with broken toes. Because some people now think it's a game. See me coming and start the car up. I don't have a car, I don't drive. The thing is, do you stop what you're doing and let these people win and force you to walk a way you don't want to walk? There's a reason why I don't walk straight up the road, because there's like really loud barking dogs and I suffer facial pain. And loud noises obviously hurt my face, so I'm going that way to get a bit of peace and quiet. Not to get run over, obviously. I don't know who this person is. I've been sent a photo. Again, I don't know if it's real or it isn't. I don't know if it's a woman that's out for revenge on a bloke that's dumped her. But they keep going on about the size of someone's dick. And I haven't got a dick. I said, why do you keep talking about a small dick? I haven't got a dick. What are you on about? It's obviously a woman, a scorned woman, or a woman that's upset with a bloke that's probably dumped her. I'm laughing. They keep going on and on about the size of a penis. It's hilarious. It's a tiddler. It's a little thing. Well, why would you say that? It's not something you talk about, is it? If you're trying to get someone to go with you, you wouldn't talk about a tiny penis, would you? I mean, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to meet a male for companionship and I'm just getting a bitch by the sound of it. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
I had a kind of static posture. I realised that my body was obeying instructions to do things almost a few milliseconds after I was issuing them. It was like there was a gap, and I could realise that I'd lost some fluidity of movement. I then had a tremor in my left arm and my left side, and I guess I began to have other symptoms too. And this all happened in a day. Almost all my symptoms I became susceptible to were in a single day. The previous day I said
Is that typical?
Yes, I think it is. It's like crossing a line and you can't get back.
Hmm. And did you realise what it was? Or did you suspect
Not immediately,
what it was?
no. In a sense that you have brain scans, and in a way they diagnose you by default. They can't find anything obvious immediately, then you've got Parkinson's. I think that the visual signs of the loss of the positive hormones, the endomorphins, do come a bit later. It becomes progressively easier to photograph it, but at the beginning, probably not.
And this is a condition that you can live with for decades, isn't it? It's not so, because I think a lot of people think, well, if you have Parkinson's, you therefore, by definition, have a limited life. But actually, Jeremy Thorpe, he died, I think, at least 25 years after he was diagnosed.
Yes, the strange thing is to say to you, you don't die of Parkinson's, you die of the things that Parkinson's does to you. That's not a big compensation, but it is a basis for rebuilding your life in some way.
Now, you've had Parkinson's for 6 years. Take us through your journey over those 6 years.
Well, I'm fortunate in the sense I can still work, though I'm not in any paid employment at the moment, and I can still walk, and I can still think. So I feel very fortunate in those senses, because obviously Parkinson's can affect different people at different rates. I think the first time I began to realise I had something serious is that you can have psychotic dreams, and I had a nightmare dream where I had to escape, and I had to jump out of bed and run around the bedroom, and basically I bashed myself up on all the bedroom furniture. But it's the sheer sense of panic and feeling trapped that made me do that. And one of the first signs that you've got Parkinson's is when it affects your dreams.
Oh, is that right? I hadn't heard that before, I have to say. And do these dreams occur every night or just occasionally?
Fortunately, they're occasional, but for some people they might be more frequent. But they are extremely frightening.
And can you take medication to lessen their impact? Because I can imagine it is incredibly frightening.
Yeah, you can take medication. You can take a medicine called melatonin, which mimics the body's natural hormone that helps the body to sleep. And so it's not in any way harmful. And you can take that, which I do, and that makes it easier for you to have a consistently peaceful night.
And I guess the thing that people most associate with Parkinson's is shaking. But for some people it's less than others, isn't it? What causes the shaking?
Is all the symptoms happen in the brain, which makes it both difficult. In fact, they actually think now, or one of the suggestions is, that Parkinson's actually starts in the gut and then moves from the gut to the brain. The complexity of Parkinson's is that there can be up to around 40 different symptoms that you can be affected by, because it's in the brain. And the most obvious one is the shake, the tremor. And this can happen in your arm or your leg or both. and eventually it moves from one side of your body to another, to the other, and at that point it can affect your balance. It moves in that way because it starts on one side of the brain and then it occupies both sides of the brain.
This word neurodegenerative, and I guess we all understand what it means, but a lot of people also associate that with multiple sclerosis, maybe motor neurone disease as well. Is there anything in common with Parkinson's with those two?
Yes, I think they do think that there are things in common with the other diseases. Huntington's career, they found a way of treating that. Now, how effective that is, I'm not sure. But that does give hope for treatment of the brain, treating neurodegenerative illnesses.
So at the moment there's no cure for Parkinson's, but I've read articles in the last 2 years which give, I think, a little hope that there could be a cure around the corner. Is that something that you're optimistic about?
Well, we have to be, in a way. Wherever you can find hope, you have to nurture it and keep.
Right, guys. So this evening, I am going to go through YouTube and watch videos. I don't do anything outrageous and stupid because I'm an adult. And I know that doing outrageous, stupid things not only puts your life in danger, but others at risk as well. If people think my videos are boring, I'm not apologising for that. I think people need stability in their life, and to be erratic and do stupid stuff, it's just not me. So, you know, that's me. I'm stable. I do probably the same things every day like everybody else. I'm not going to endanger people's lives. I'm not going to put people's safety at risk. And I don't do stupid things to get views. I'd rather have the same followers, real followers that follow my channel than people that are looking for just some fix. You know, some high to get high on some dangerous stunt. Okay, so I'm not changing. I'm going to continue to be myself, and if people want to bully and say things and make out I'm a bloke, then just go ahead and do it, because you're fooling yourself. Right, and I'm just going to do what I like doing, and I'm going to carry on doing it, and I'm going to ignore everybody that is bullying me, okay? Right? At the end of the day, I'm not calling police because somebody is making remarks, comments, making out they're trying to run me over. I'm going to look after myself. I'm quite capable. I mean, it's absolutely stupid, right? It's obviously a woman trying to get at a bloke, because you don't start talking about the size of a dick unless you're a woman that's trying to get back at an ex. See you later.